Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. Today we have a very special critique corner. I have a submission from popular content creator PurpleKyogre's, one of the first content creators in Pokemon Go PvP, way before I even started making videos. So he's definitely been around the block quite a few times, and he knows what he's doing. So he hit Legend already this season, which is definitely pretty early on. I'm barely even expert right now. So let's take a look at the team that he used to get there and see if he made any misplays or not. The footage I have is going to be one full set of 5 battles, and it's a set right after he hit Legend. So Pikachu Libre set, potentially. Before we get into the battles, I want to give a big shout out and thank you to all my patrons who've been supporting my content creation. If you'd like private one-on-one coaching, scrims against me, some of my league guides and strategies ahead of time, or even tune into my live stream battles, feel free to sign up through the Patreon link down below. Let's get into these sets of battles. This is actually a lot of his footage from his stream, so that's why there's kind of some of his stream layout elements as well too. So he's running a Lickitung with, or sorry, he's running a Whiscash. Let me take a look at the backline here real quick. So he has a Tentacruel and a Skarmory. Interesting line. The Tentacruel is definitely, Shadow Tentacruel is definitely on the spicier end, but I like it. You have coverage for grass on both ends. You have coverage for Charger Bug, and you probably are safe swapping the Tentacruel in most situations. Go straight for the Scald, which is definitely the right play because the Aspray is not enough to KO. Not sure if the Aspray can lead to a farm down with Poison Jabs, but it's definitely a risk, right? Especially being down a shield. Good no shield here. I think might even survive Night Slash, maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, but either way, you already have already down a shield, and so this matchup itself is a little bit on the tougher side because Annihilate is just so attack heavy and the counters really add up, even the Night Slash, and then being down a shield also puts PurpleKyogre in a pretty tough spot. So let's see how he plays around this, but there's a potential for this Annihilate to sweep if the opponent decides to shield it up. Chooses not to shield here, which is the right call. I don't, ooh, they get boosted. That's actually really bad. I don't know if they're at the Shadow Ball or not worth the energy. I was going to say maybe they should build up to it, but hey, it paid off. They played the gamble. And he's going to quit out there. Honestly, I wouldn't quit out so early because it was a Lickitung in the lead, a Nihilip in the back. And the main thing is we're in a meta where Lantern is much less prevalent, and which means that Skarmory has typically a lot more play into most things in this meta, even Charge Bug, right? One of his counters. Also, on top of that, like, yes, okay, they might have a Bastion, Registeel, Alolan Sandslash, something in the back that kind of beats Skarmory reliably. But the thing is, they led with a Lickitung, so they could be running ABA weak to Fighter, but it's possible that it's not, and it could be something weak, right? So you want things that beat Vigoroth usually in the back, but could be something like a Gligar even, right? Because swapping Tentacruel didn't really draw a hard counter right off the bat. It was just a Annihilate. Could be double fighters, double counter users. So personally speaking, I would probably just play this out a little bit, right? You see the Steel Wings adding up. If you shield the Shadow Ball, you're in a decent spot. If you let a Night Slash go and don't shield it, you could also potentially Steel Wing down. So again, it's not like you know, it's not a great matchup for him, but it's not completely unwinnable. So I personally would play it out and see how it goes, right? I think there's certain games that are just completely unwinnable, but at that point in time, it might be worth playing it out and see. And also, the other benefit of playing it out is that you can see a team composition that you might see more often later on. Could be a content creator team or just something that's starting to catch on in a meta, so you can help you anticipate it better next time. That being said, I'm going to go straight for the Scald here. So the play, if you want to guarantee you win this matchup, is you actually just go straight Mud Bomb. That way you could just match shields if need be, but the damage from the Shadow Whiscash is plenty that you don't actually want to go Scald. Even if you get the debuff, generally speaking, it's not as worthwhile because you still might have to shield afterward because they could tank a Scald, right? And if they shield the Scald, it puts you in a way tougher spot because now you're kind of even more behind energy. So my recommendation is if you want to win switch advantage, which for this specific situation, it's less even about winning switch advantage, but just taking out the charge bug because both Pokemon in the back are weak to it, you won't just go straight Mud Bomb here. If they shield, you shield. But this way you don't have to play the gamble game of going for the debuffs as well, especially with Scald being nerfed in this most recent GBL season. Like it's not going to, the debuff chance is not nearly as high. And you see they shield. So because they shield, PurpleKyogre's going to have to shield this anyway, but now you're kind of behind energy. And I don't even recall if the debuff happened or not, but even if it did debuff, you're still within one excess range at this point, right? For the most part. But it goes for the double. But see, this is where it gets tricky, right? Because now PurpleKyogre is forced to shield twice. The thing why Mud Bomb is a better play here is because you can see the health here. It's not easy for him to Mud Shot this down before taking another move. So if you need to throw 2 moves, just throw the cheaper move, right? And if you're gonna go for the debuff, like yeah, the debuff's nice, but if the debuff's not stopping you from shielding, then what's the point of the debuff, right? It's just, you know, reducing some of the Volt Switch damage at best, which is not that big of a deal. Either way, still in a good spot though, because you take out the Charger Bug, get a full Mud Shot down, which is nice. And they're presumably probably weak to the Whiscash to some degree, because otherwise, why would they stay in Charge Bug into it, right? So this is okay though. Able to probably get the shield advantage, the shield back, so be on even shields with switch advantage, which is nice. And then comes in with the Tentacruel. Doesn't want the full farm down, which is understandable. Let's see what happens here. Okay, Lantern. All right. Yeah, not the best of situations here, but well, this is actually very bad because it's actually Spark Lantern too. The question is, can you get to a Mud Bomb in time? Ooh, just barely does. Okay, does get this off, which is definitely crucial. If they get the full Spark down, it's different, but because they weren't able to get the Spark down, I think PurpleKyogre is in a good spot and could probably just steal Wing down after that. So yeah, ends up winning the game, but I think that one was probably closer than it needed to be. You just want to go, if you're, especially when you Shadow Whiscash, you want to just go straight Mud Bomb. Non-Shadow Whiscash, there's reasons to go Scald for sure because you're not doing as much damage, but Shadow Whiscash, you want to just play it out that way, because essentially if he played it out that way without throwing Scald, then he just wins that matchup on even shields, and that way he would still have a shield on his own end, and then he could more easily pivot out if he needs to, right, in that situation. Okay. Zumro, this is an okay situation, I guess, but personally speaking, it's okay. This is an okay situation, right? You have energy banked on the Whiscash, but me personally, I don't love going for that play in general. I would say throw some of your energy, because the main thing is he's almost at 100 energy now. Let's say what came in here was Registeel. Right? If it's a Registeel, it takes out your Tentacruel after one Zap Cannon, and you have all this energy, right? And the Registeel, if it threw a Zap Cannon at your Tentacruel, then it doesn't have energy for another move. So you can overfarm it and come out with more energy. But if you're already almost at 100 energy on your Whiscash, then that extra energy, you won't be able to farm much off the Registeel, right? You can Mud Shot a few more times, but you're already at 100 energy. There's no point. You should throw a Mud Bomb, right? So all that stored energy, kind of like you could have stored more energy later on, right? Whereas leaving with 100 energy can be risky. Obviously, in this matchup, you can't really farm off a Gligar that much. But even then, if you time it well, and they're like a few wing attacks away from their next move, you can still throw a few Mud Shots, get some energy before leaving, right? The tough part here is because the downside of it is not only can you not farm more off a matchup that you might potentially lose and have to, you know, come back in with Whiscash, but also you're giving the Zumro energy at the same time. But if you're not able to farm off a matchup after not winning switch advantage, then you end up just kind of being on even footing versus Zumro, and then you still have to spend your energy, right? So if you spend your energy to take out their secondary Pokemon, then what that means is that Zumro just has more energy than you, right? Because they stayed in and got all that energy and never threw any, whereas you had to throw it into their secondary Pokemon that took out your safe swap, right? Goes for Acid Spray bait. I think this is a solid play because Scald hits really hard and they have to respect it. I guess they don't have to respect it, but most players will. So pretty safe bait. Could potentially shield, yeah. Grabbing the second shield here would be pretty big. Ends up grabbing the shield with the Aerial Ace, from the Aerial Ace. So there's a potential play here One play is that PurpleKyogre could stall out the timer, double shield, and then snipe this down with the Scald with all the energy he has banked. That would be a good potential play, but decides to let it go. That's okay too. I would probably just farm down with Skarmory actually. Yeah, this is the right play. So the main thing is, yeah, that's a really good play because you can actually get the farm down, whereas Whisk actually had to dump your energy, right? So in a pretty commanding position, I would say right now. But again, this is the tough part, right? This Zuma has all this energy, so it makes this Skarmory matchup harder than it probably needed to be. You know, like I think if the Azuma didn't have that much energy, you would get to this Brave Bird before the second Ice Beam for sure, right? Goes a little bit over 100 energy here, but not the end of the world, I guess. Just taking a few more bubble damage than probably needed to. Goes to the Mud Bomb. I don't remember the health on his Glide Guard. It might be enough. Yeah, it is enough. Okay. Ah, there we go. Nice. Okay. So ends up winning that match. But again, I'm providing as much feedback as possible here because one thing I like to tell people is just because you win a match doesn't mean you couldn't have played it better, right? So sometimes it's kind of a 50-50 coin toss on like shielding something or going for, you know, a nuke or bait, but some things are a little more straightforward. Okay, let's oh, interesting, they're baiting. I like that he just let it go as well. But yeah, this is an interesting situation. Now PurpleKyogre can shield and win switch, and that's a really good position to be in. So they're going to go straight for Aqua Tails. Might have to shield again. Oh, actually throws the Aspirate. I like this too. Save your second shield and force your opponents to match shields. And now they shield, and now you win switch. Yes, you have to spend another shield, but you didn't have to dump 2 shields and have them dump 0, right? So at least you're down a shield, but you win switch advantage, which is going to be very, very useful. The other reason why this is useful is not only did he win switch advantage, he has a Skarmory now that walls off the Whimsicott in the back, but also you have energy on the Tentacruel. So if they come in Whimsicots, they're going to take a lot of damage, even from Acid Spray, right? Because it's double super effective. So it gives them, it makes a chance where they might even have to shield your Tentacruel, and they can't really farm this down with Fairy Wind very easily, right? It's all resisted. The other option is they might come in with a third Pokemon. You have a heads-up info on their third Pokemon. You could potentially also get off a Scald or Acid Spray at a minimum against the third Pokemon too. So a lot of situations that PurpleKyogre set himself up for success here. So let's see what they come in with. They come in Whimsicott. Yeah, so look how much damage this is. It's absolutely ludicrous. Honestly, if I was the opponent, I would have came in with third Pokemon, right? Just to avoid this. Because now you completely lose your Whimsicott. Okay, you have Feraligatr, which is fine, right? I guess going for the Feraligatr sweep, but like also like just come in Feraligatr, right? Like it makes your life easier because there's, you know, like you know that they're not going to get to a Sludge Wave, right? You already seen the Acid Spray, so just give yourself a little bit more of an energy lead, right? Yeah, I don't know. Now they're getting hit by Mud Bomb, so yeah. Overall, I think PurpleKyogre played this really well. And maybe the opponent could have improved on things here or there, but I really liked how PurpleKyogre played out that specific matchup. Also recognize that most characters that don't have Mud Bomb, like, you're fine, just let the move go, right? If you land the Scald, great. I think also, given that he hit Legend with this team, he probably knows a lot of his Shadow Tentacruel matchups much better than opponents. Definitely one of the benefits of running more Spice picks for sure. I like this play a lot. Go for the Scald. Nothing really consistently checks this Lickitung, right? Even Skarmory could potentially lose that matchup. So chip it down first and then swap out. It's nice. It doesn't matter if you don't have that much energy on the Whiscash. It's still going to beat the Lantern in most situations. So unless you have like a massive energy lead, right? But I think at this point, the play is to just farm up as much energy as possible. Get chipped down from the Lickitung. Give the Lantern less farm. That way you can throw the Sky Attack at the Lickitung, Brave Bird the Lantern still, and be in a really good spot. So go ahead and throw the Sky Attack. Probably could have farmed up a little bit more energy, but it's fine. They shield, so yeah, this is you just match shields at this point, I would say. Oh, he's not shielding. Okay, this is a little bit dicey because what the opponent could do here is that they can shield and just farm you down and win switch advantage. Now, it really depends on what they have as third Pokemon, because maybe they still can't beat the Whiscash with their third Pokemon, but it sets them up for a chance to flip switch, and depending on what team they're running, that could be bad, right? If they have a Shadow Victory build in back, it's really bad, right? Obviously, that might not be the case, but I think they're running probably potentially double shield. Yeah, so they go with double shield and win switch. Again, PurpleKyogre's team is flexible enough that there may be some play, but now you're gonna have to show the Whiscash here, and okay, yeah. So it ends up being a Tropius, but not too bad because this is going to be Air Slash, right? But the other way to think of it is, if he just shields once, then he has the Tentacruel on the Tropius, and then he has a Whiscash still on the Lantern, right? So there's probably a strong chance that he still wins this matchup, but it just makes his life a little bit harder than it need to be, in my opinion. Because and it's also a slight gamble, right? Because if this was Shadow Victory Bell, it could be a different story, because that would really chunk the Tentacruel as well. Pretty much, yeah. Have to shield the Leaf Blade, right? So, it's definitely still favorable for PurpleKyogre. He still has a shield, right? He could potentially get baited by Surf and then get hit by Thunderbolts, but Shadow Tentacruel might hit hard enough that might not be too bad. But yeah, so now he's in a tough position where he has to call a Surf bait, right? Which, really great call, for sure. But if he didn't call that correctly, he just loses, right? Whereas the other flip side is, if you just shield up the Lickitung and Skarmory matchup, you just win more cleanly, right? That gives him a potential lose condition, right? Is he has to call that Surf. But, either way, still grabbing a victory there, and he ended up going 4-1 that set. So let's see if he gets that shiny Pikachu Libre or not, because I know I'm personally still hunting for that myself. But overall, some really solid plays. Definitely some areas for improvement, but I think that can be said about pretty much everyone. So shout out to PurpleKyogre for sending me the footage, and congrats on the early legend achievement. And definitely, if anyone else is curious about how to play this team, definitely check out PurpleKyogre on twitch.tv on his channel there, because he'll be able to showcase his battles better than I can explain it in this one video. But I'm sure that there's a lot of nuanced strategies that he sees in different matchups. Hopefully this was helpful. If you'd like to submit your own footage for Critique Corner, feel free to shoot me a message on Twitter at Peng. Or if you would like to submit any footage for Why Am I Not Climbing series, for those that are really struggling and constantly going negative or just stuck at the same elo, I'll drop that link down below in the description. If you like this video, feel free to give it a like and share, subscribe for future content, hit that notification bell to get alerted right when I post a new video, and I'll catch you all next time. Bye.